I'm not going to tell you exactly how old I am, but I will say this. Just the other week, when I needed something to get repeated to me because I didn't hear it the first time, I just inadvertently went, huh? And this was to a self-checkout register. I'm also constipated, almost like on a daily basis. Anybody else? My people. I had like an Italian beef sandwich 3 weeks ago. It was the most Chicago thing I've ever eaten, because it's still stuck in my lower whacker. I have this very rational fear that I'm gonna eat something and I'm gonna get so sick from it that I have to go to the hospital. And then they're gonna run a bunch of tests on me. And then they're gonna say, oh, we can't figure out what's wrong with you. We're gonna need to run a bunch of more tests. And then after like 8 hours in the emergency room, they're gonna send me home with just ibuprofen and a huge hospital bill that my health insurance doesn't cover. In America, we call that Squid Games. But that's seriously, that's what American healthcare is. Like, it's the biggest scam in this country, and this one's not even run by Nigerians. I don't even have the best insurance. I have okay insurance. The best insurance is GoFundMe. Because on GoFundMe, everything is covered. I was once on something called Cobra. Oh, some of you know? That's where they put you to a cage with a live cobra. If you win, you get your copay waived for the day. But seriously, health insurance is a mess right now in America. I had to call up this one company because, again, my bill came back and nothing was covered. And I was like, all right, can you help me out? And they transferred me over several different people. And eventually, they connected me with a guy in India. And this guy's like, hello, it's Connor. What can I do for you? And I was like, my man, Connor. You want to help a brother out? And then he was like, I don't hear your accent. I don't believe you're one of us. And then this dude put me on hold of 45 minutes of straight, sultry jazz music. Like real smooth, like saxophone seducing a divorcee on a Carnival cruise smooth. And for like 45 minutes, I'm like, why am I trying to be seduced right now? Oh, that's right, I'm about to get fucked in every way possible. And that's pretty insulting to really any American who's trying to call up some weird conglomerate just for some simple health care. That's like if I was a Boeing pilot and the airplane was about to go down, and I called up air traffic control, and they put me on hold to R. Kelly's I Believe I Can Fly. Welcome to America. And I'm here to really just, share with you my immigrant experience. Any immigrants in the house? Okay. This is what it sounds like at the border every day. And my immigrant story starts off where I was born. I was born in a country called Bangladesh. Okay, that's fine. None of you immigrants gave a shit. That's fine. I was born there, and the thing about Bangladesh is, like, we're always in the news for all the wrong things. It's either a natural disaster or some factory fire. And it's never for, like, the kind of respect I feel like that country deserves. And it's mainly because a lot of you don't even know much about it, and that's fine. So I'm going to tell you a couple things you got to know about Bangladesh. The first thing is, yes, we export a lot of fabric, a lot of materials at a very criminally discounted price. And it's so low that we became the knockoff empire of the South Asian continent, right? And me, I used to say I was born in Bangladesh, so this body was literally made in Bangladesh. What you see here has the same durability as anything you buy from Old Navy. But that's right. I mean, we're a knockoff country, and that means some of us have to pay the price for it. As a kid, I wanted those Air Jordans really badly. But Mom was like, nah, that's too expensive. We go to Bangladesh, you can get them at a much cheaper price. I was like, all right. We went out there, got some Air Jordans. Turns out they weren't the real deal. I ended up with Air Montel Jordans. I looked at my mom and I was like, this is not how we do it. And the fact is, like, it's not even my mom. I got, like, cousins that think they're slick. I had this one cousin who tried to sell me these pair of, like, Black Panther-inspired Air Jordans. And I was a little sus, like, I don't think these exist. How much are they? It was like, they're $300. I was like, all right. It's a highly sought after hot commodity. I was like, I'll get a pair. And they weren't even real Air Jordans either. These are Air Michael B. Jordans. I actually tried to return these. And when I returned them, they're like, hey, we got this 30-day policy, sir. We can't take them back. And I just respond with, oh, okay. I thought Wakanda was forever. The other thing about Bangladesh is we love fish. We're huge fish people. Yeah, as a kid when I was watching Finding Nemo, I was just salivating through the whole movie. But that took me a while to really appreciate our deep love for seafood. As a kid, when you're trying to like fit into this country, you want to kind of stay away from that just because of the dirty looks you get. I remember in 3rd grade, my mom was packing me fish curry for lunch. And I was like, Mom, you want me to get my ass kicked on the first day of school by both the students and the teachers? I had to warm this up during lunch too, so I went to the teacher's lounge, used the microwave, fired up my tilapia, and then they almost called Homeland Security on me. Luckily, there's this other kid there that saw what I had, and he was like, hey, what you got in there? And I was like, these are leftovers from Red Lobster. And he was like, oh, that's sweet, man. We never get to go to Red Lobster. I just had this gross bologna sandwich. Here, give me that. And thus took place a much different exchange between a pilgrim and an Indian that day. But as soon as I handed him this Tupperware of tilapia, he cracked it open. And he's like, dude, the hell is this? This isn't Red Lobster. This is gross. He just gave it back to me. And then later in life, I see on Facebook that this dude is now the manager of Long John Silver's. So I just run to Facebook and I'm like, who's eating fish every day now, bitch? And then he blocked me, so. Bangladesh is a country of 170 million people. And I know, that's pretty disproportionate to the number of athletes we send to the Olympics every 4 years. The last one, we just sent 5 people. That's not even an Uber XL. It's barely a regular Uber. But here's the thing, like Bangladesh, it makes sense because we have an atrocious diet. We just eat a bunch of carbs and sweets. It's enough to get Paula Deen a stroke. But the other thing is, hey, we don't have time for silly games, all right? Because the Bangladeshi people, they're busy out here protesting. And they actually protested so hard that they ousted the corrupt dictator of a prime minister they had of 15 years. Yeah. That's some gold medal shit right there. Because compared to the losers at January 6th, Bangladesh made them look like the Australian breakdancers of overthrowing the government. But again, I love America. And ever since we got here, I learned one thing is that if you're a person of color, if you come from like a foreign background, you're always responsible for the worst things that your people do. And then you have to come out and just condemn stuff on a weekly basis. If you're Latino, you gotta condemn illegal immigration. If you're black, you gotta condemn baby oil. If you're Arab or Arab adjacent, you have to condemn DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, the world's most famous Palestinian. People are like, when's he gonna issue a statement on the Middle East? Oh, you want a statement from DJ Khaled? Here's the statement, DJ Khaled. This is a human Pokemon. The other thing about America is that you gotta keep in touch with what's going on in the economic news. And I try to keep up with stuff. And my thing is, like, I just follow which businesses are filing for bankruptcy. Because last year I found out that Party City filed for bankruptcy. And yeah, I grew up going to Party City. That was a shrine to anybody living out in the suburbs. Party City is a holy institution. I will come out and say they're holier than the Vatican. Because Party City touched kids' lives in a much different way. You want to know how much Party City was in debt for? Party City filed for bankruptcy because they had $1 billion of debt. $1 billion. Now, here's my question for Party City. Would it kill them to sell some fucking cocaine? That's why they're in $1 billion of debt. Their name is literally Party City. That's like showing up to Cracker Barrel and learning they don't have white people. Now, I'm not the kind of guy that should weigh in on anything economic or financial, because I look like the guy who's pitching cryptocurrency in the back of a hookah lounge. And I personally didn't have like the best financial moves. Like I had the shittiest credit for the longest time until I met my wife, who taught me how to be more financially savvy. And also I stole her social security number. So that's how that worked. But also, like, I always got bad financial advice from people. I had one person tell me, don't let your dick write checks your heart can't cash. Don't let your dick write checks your heart can't cash. At this point, I was like, Grandma, what kind of birthday card is this? I'm 10 years old. What kind of pipe do you think I'm laying out here? I learned a lot about finance and like the general American public through my parents' businesses. They were self-employed, and they had a gas station, so I worked at the gas station. Yeah, shocker, right? But working at this gas station, I learned a lot about general American public, especially the ones that want to test you on your devotion to this country for some reason. I was working one day, and this dude rolls up with strong Republican vibes. And out of nowhere, he was like, "Hey, you want $1? You want to donate $1 for patriotism?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" "Yeah, collecting money for patriotism. Can you spare $1?" And I was like, "No, I think we're good. A lot of patriotism going around these days. I think we're good." And this somehow turned into a confrontation because he was like, "Oh, okay. You don't got money for patriotism. Are you even a real American? Because if you're not, I think you got to get the hell out of this country." And then he started threatening me. He was like, "I'm gonna call immigration up and get your family deported. I'm gonna get this handled right now." And all of a sudden, I just reacted the only way I knew how to any Republican. I just got on the floor and curled up into the fetal position. Because once he saw me in the fetal position, he started treating me as a fully developed human being. And then just walked away. All right, some of you wanted to let that marinate for a little bit. You didn't get it. Give it about 9 months. Or 6 weeks. I don't know what the rule is in Illinois. I'm joking. Once he saw me in the fetal position, he stole like $600 from the register. We donated so much money to patriotism that day. But again, I love America. Even when I find myself in some of the shittiest places with some of the shittiest people. Like just recently I was at this bar and these two guys were pissed off at me because I didn't take my hat off for the national anthem. Because that's the song they chose to sing to during karaoke. These guys were redheads. I got nothing against redheads. My wife has been with a redhead before. Carrot Top is a very sore subject in our household. But like I said, I got nothing against them. You know, I'm one of their biggest allies. I will march for their cause. My issue was with these two specific redheads. I don't even remember their names. I'm gonna call them Racist Chucky and Irish Car Bomb. My issue with them was like they were so drunk that night. They went around the bar just trying all kinds of weird pickup lines on women. One of them was like, "These bag of Irish potatoes is not gonna snack it on itself." It got progressively worse. The other one was going around just saying, "I got this hard roll of pennies in my pants that I need to deposit into your Coinstar machine." I was in the corner going, okay, never say any of this to any woman ever in your lifetime. I guess I got progressively worse. It got so bad that eventually they just started asking every woman there if they wanted to taste their ginger ale. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell by this focus group reaction right here. Shockingly, it didn't work. Because fellas, I don't know if you know this, but asking women to taste your ginger ale, that's the quickest way to get that pussy Canada dry. It's a standing ovation in Schaumburg, Illinois. Some of you are like, that's a good joke. I'm more of a Seagram's bitch. I'm a slut for Schweppes. But like I said, I love America. And it always gets worse. You know, you think you have like the worst experience with somebody, but there's always something after that that like makes the last one look like a really easy day in the park. And some of these situations actually, they call you out on your whole background, and like you get in that mode of like fight or flight. What am I gonna do? And to me personally, I've been taught to like, all right, don't try to get aggressive with them. All you gotta do is talk to them a little bit, because maybe, you know, they've never seen your point of view, they've never really talked to somebody from your part of the world, and maybe they'll leave as a better person. Well, fuck me, I tried this. I got into a wreck with a guy once. He was driving a Ford F-150 truck with the bull testicles dangling from the back. And he had a bumper sticker that read, "My other ride is your mom." I was driving a 1991 Honda Civic with one tinted window, 3 hubcaps missing. And my bumper sticker read, "PTA Mom of the Year." We were destined to cross paths. I get out of my vehicle, he gets out of his, we look at each other. I was dressed like this. He was wearing a NASCAR truck hat and a t-shirt with a Confederate flag on it, and the sleeves cut off. Yes. Yeah, you know, look like his sleeves left him right before his dad did. I don't make up the statistics, I just report them. But like I said, all I want to do is exchange insurance information, open up the line of dialogue, go about my way. I look at him, he looks at me, he yells out, "Hey, Home Depot! Either learn how to drive or go back to your stupid country." I'm over here like, Home Depot? Does this dude think I'm Mexican? Now, this is not a hot take by any means, right? If you look ethnically ambiguous, or like a racial Rubik's Cube, you're gonna get confused for a Latino at least once in your life. I personally should have gone into Hollywood. I could have played like a refugee, a terrorist, and a conquistador all in the same episode. So personally, I wasn't offended at all. I was quite flattered. Because Latinos are great at a lot of things. Right, Latinos?
Yeah.
Take it from that one person representing the Latino congregation here tonight. They're great at a lot of things. They're great athletes. They're vivacious lovers. If you couldn't tell by the moment I stepped out here, these are things I desperately need on my social resume. But the other part of me was like, no, fuck this guy. I'm gonna tell him about a little country called Bangladesh. Tell him about our robust fish economy, our very controversial textile industry. Maybe I'll sell him a couple of Montel J's. Either way, I'm gonna drop a TED Talk on his ass. I was like, yo, bro, first of all, I'm not Mexican, let's get that straight. Second of all, this is where he cuts me off. He goes, nah. That's where you're wrong, bro, Chacho. Bro, Chacho. What level of Duolingo is that? He goes, I didn't call you Home Depot because you look Mexican. I called you Home Depot because you look like a tool. Don't be racist. And then he got in his truck and just drove off with his bold testicles of superiority taunting me in the distance. Left me in this catatonic state where I'm just standing there thinking, how did I become the shitty person in this situation? What kind of reverse Uno card was that? I've grown up in America. I did, come to love a lot of American music. And there's always that raging debate of who's better, Prince or Michael Jackson. And I want to take a quick poll right now. Make some noise if you think Prince was better. All right, make some noise if you think Michael Jackson was better. Pretty split. I will give you my answer. I think Prince was better. Yep. Thank you, Prince's manager. Here's why. There's a good reason behind this. Prince was born and raised in Minneapolis. And that man single-handedly, with his music, made Minnesota the sexiest state in the whole country. Michael Jackson, from a town called Gary. He didn't do a goddamn thing for Indiana. Prince was like, he infused pure sexual energy into Minnesota. Do you understand how impossible that is? And then he passed away, unfortunately, in 2016. Minnesotans stopped fucking after that day. They had to wait until 2019 until a new savior called Tim Walz showed up to start fucking again. Michael Jackson, I still avoid Gary. That stench in Gary still exists. Every time I drive there, I'm like, Billie Jean is still not my lover. I'm not gonna stick around. I hate driving to Indiana. I gotta say it, I'm sorry. Because every time I drive to Indiana, I find myself sandwiched between two semis. Coincidentally, sandwiched between two semis is what you call a threesome in Indiana? Okay, I want to support Indiana, I really do, right? And they got a WNBA team. Anybody here fans of WNBA? Right, half of you are lying, that's fine. I asked this at a show once where there's literally only like 10 people. I asked any fans of the WNBA here, nobody said anything. Just silence. And then I was like, all right, you guys realize that before 2024, this was the average turnout to a WNBA game? And now after 2024, this is the average turnout to a White Sox game? Patriarchy is going down! But I gotta say, like, some of these WNBA teams don't make sense to me. Because I understand what a Chicago Sky is, but what the hell is an Indiana Fever? Except for what Mike Pence experiences when he sees a shirtless farmer. But Indiana has some more, formidable prodigies that they sent out into the world. They sent out this one guy, and growing up in America, I was always fascinated by those with leadership skills. And the ones that had true leadership skills were the ones that started their own cults. And Indiana brought to the world one of the most notorious cult leaders out there, this dude by the name of Jim Jones. We got some Jones heads in the house. All right, let me clarify a little bit. I'm talking about the white Jim Jones, not the black Jim Jones. I grew up with the black Jim Jones. A dude who had a hit single that went something like this. We stay fly, so high, you know this. Holy! You don't have to look back and see what kind of person just yelled for that one. But that's the difference. Like, white Jim Jones got 900 people to join his cult. Black Jim Jones sold like 900 CDs tops. But that's a true story. Yeah, he got 900 people, half of them came from Chicago. And then they just went off on this very remote place off the coast of South America. And as the story goes, they all drank that poisonous Kool-Aid one day and committed a mass suicide together. Which is very tragic, yes. But very fucking impressive. You got 900 people to do that. How many people in your group chat can you get just to commit to brunch? And then kill themselves after. It's almost impossible, and I really should stop trying. That's how you get kicked out of every Waffle House in the country. Now, the other thing about, embodying the lifestyle of a cult leader is that you got to be really good at small talk. And I hate small talk. Especially when you have to do it with your coworkers. And it's always the same shit over and over. It's like, hey, how's it going? How's it living? And the response is, living the dream. You're laughing because it's a bold-faced lie. If the 8-year-old version of you saw that, they would have just hopped into a time machine, go into the future, and start strangling you. To think your office job is how you want to live the dream. I've learned to flip the script. So now when anybody asks me how it's going, instead of saying living the dream, I just go, I'm fulfilling the prophecy. It makes you seem a lot more cooler, way more mysterious. And the best part is, you're not accountable for a goddamn thing. Because if they're like, hey man, why'd you skip every single meeting today? I was fulfilling the prophecy. All right, why are you visibly stealing office equipment right now? I'm fulfilling the prophecy. All right, so why are you drunk at 9 a.m. on a Tuesday morning? Oh, I'm just living the goddamn dream. I worked in healthcare for quite a bit. I still work in healthcare now. And I've learned to entrust the healthcare in this country. So much so that once I bought a Groupon for LASIK surgery in Lombard, Illinois. Believe me, I needed it. My eyesight was so bad that I didn't even see any of the red flags. I just bought it online and just showed up. There wasn't even a preoperative appointment. You just showed up. And as soon as I got there, that's when I learned that the surgeon had a lazy eye. I couldn't even ask which eye he was going to use to fix my eyes. And there were some other causes for concern. Like in the waiting room, he had a video playing of all the successful patient testimonies. And it was just clearly all people in his family. And the worst part was that the whole time in the lobby area, the only music they had playing was from Stevie Wonder. So before they called my name, I bailed. I was like, all right, I'm not that dumb. I'm gonna save my eyesight. And on my way back home, I was actually doing my own eye exam throughout this town. And I was like, all right, let's see, strip mall, gas station, Burger King, strip mall, a vacant lot, strip mall, gas station. And that was reassuring to me because I learned that I didn't need 20/20 vision to see how much of a shitty town Lombard, Illinois was. I grew up in a Muslim family. Okay. Absolutely deafening silence for Bangladesh, but Prince and Muslims. The thing about growing up in a Muslim family, I learned that you really gotta separate religion from a lot of things in this country, and that's why I think the separation of church and state exists, because you shouldn't combine something like Islam with something like basketball. Because I was on a Muslim basketball team, and we enrolled ourselves into a tournament. But unbeknownst to us, the tournament fell during the month of Ramadan. Those of you that are not familiar with Ramadan, that's the month of the year where Muslims fast from sunup to sundown. They don't play basketball at any point during this day. So we all show up, the most dehydrated, famished weaklings, trying to play 5-on-5 basketball. One of us was just yelling out, "Yallah!" and then he just misses the shot. Another guy we had was asthmatic, just wheezing up and down the court. He wouldn't even use his inhaler because it would quote-unquote break his fast. We're like, "Abdullah, hit your fucking albuterol, man. We're down by 89 points. This was the most Muslim basketball team that ever existed. Because every time we played, we only scored 5 times a game. All right, it's a little deep cut for some of you there. At the end, there was a coach came up to us and it was gave us these departing words of wisdom. He's like, "Yeah, you guys sucked. There's nothing else to it. I also bet $300 that you guys were gonna win. And now I gotta explain to my wife why I'm gambling on a recreational sports league. I'm just gonna go to the casino right now." Growing up in America, casinos, they were one of my fascinating places to go hang out. And I've been to a few. I've been to one in the Midwest, a place in Michigan, and it's called Gun Lake Casino. It's the only place I've been to is you show up wearing sweats, camo, and you have stains over all your attire. You're still somehow overdressed. We didn't play any of the games, we skipped that. I personally didn't want to do any slots, where the tables. I went straight for the buffet. Casinos have my favorite thing is a buffet or a game that I call diarrhea roulette. Little insider advice, the house wins every time. But I do gotta, I was born in Bangladesh. But I always get that question, where are you from, at least 1,000 times a day. I was born there, that's not where I grew up. And I don't know if you guys can tell by the way I look, the beard on my face, and my love for oil. I was raised in the great kingdom of Oklahoma. Calm down. You cheer for that, but everyone in Chicago gave me the most aggressive honks when I had Oklahoma license plate. I used to have Oklahoma pride until our last governor left office with a 17% approval rating. Sorry, 17% approval rating. Her approval rating was lower than the Rotten Tomatoes rating for the movie Human Centipede 2. 100% shame right there. Now Oklahoma's trying to shake up things with the education system. They're trying to enforce the Bible as a required piece of text, and then also require the 10 Commandments are hung up in every classroom. And I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to play out with a state that has a considerably large Native population. Because I can't wait to see all those Native kids in the classroom see the commandments and they just go, hey, one of them says, thou shalt not steal. Can we get all our land back? But also, the thing about Oklahoma is that that's also where I learned to have, the worst friends. These are the type of friends that when they were single, they lived that single lifestyle. And then when they started families, to them, being single was just a relationship status. It was more so a lifestyle that they wanted to embody mentally. So I had this one friend who hit me up. He's like, hey, Sharup, my birthday's coming up. I'm going to celebrate at a strip club. You in or are you out? I was like, dude, don't you have 3 kids? And he goes, oh, shit, that's right. I got to get a babysitter. But he's like, yo, man, you in here? I'm like, dude, I'm uncomfortable. Strip clubs are not my place. And he's like, oh, yeah, you can't spare $1 for patriotism? Also, I had a Groupon for the same strip club. And to me, letting that go to waste was more of a sin. So we all rolled up. And this wasn't even Oklahoma. We went on this little long-distance drive up to Indiana. We all rolled up to the strip club. The problem, though, was I had lost my driver's license at the time. So I was walking around with my passport as identification. We all show up. I handed the bouncer my passport. This dude opened it up, flipped through the pages, and then he stamped the logo of the strip club on one of the pages. DJ, run that back! Run that back! You just put a tramp stamp in my passport? At this point, all I did was shrug, blow Vic smoke into my face. And he goes, I don't know, man, it's Titty Tuesdays. I was like, the answer is none of my questions. Except for the reason why my Groupon was rejected. And I was like, thanks, dude. Now somewhere down the road, I'm gonna have to explain to a customs agent what was I doing in a country called Polecats. Customs agent's gonna just be lifting shaking the glitter out. And I gotta be like, polecats. Used to be part of the Soviet Union or some shit, I don't know. I do envy strippers though. Because that's the best entry-level job you could ever have. You're making 5 times the salary of a regular entry-level employee. And also, I'm also envious of them because when I came to Chicago, I had terrible jobs. I started off as a bar trivia host. And the highlight of my trivia hosting days was that I almost got my ass kicked by a group of grown-ass men whose trivia team name was Quiz All Over My Face. At that point, I didn't have the answer to my own trivia question, which was, what am I doing with my life? But the other part about this was that, it made me think back to Oklahoma when my parents had their businesses and I had to help out. We had a pizza restaurant in Oklahoma. And growing up, they put on the menu, they put authentic Italian cuisine. Yeah, I don't know if you've been paying attention this whole time. My South Asian Muslim family put on the menu authentic Italian cuisine. Because it's Oklahoma, who the fuck is gonna fact check us? They're too busy wiping down their AR-15s to shoot off at the next gender reveal party. Their Outlook calendar is jam-packed already. Now, we were doing pretty well until 9/11 happened, and we lost a lot of customers. So to boost sales, one of our employees was this white savior named Rudy. Now, all you gotta know about Rudy is he was actually part of this trio of brothers they were furniture moguls of Oklahoma. But they kicked out Rudy out of the deal because Rudy had a problematic past. This man had like 3 or 4 DUIs, and he was a huge fan of the worst conspiracy theories. So that's why he came to deliver pizza for us. Rudy was also Shark Tank before Shark Tank existed. So to boost sales after 9/11, Rudy came up with the bright idea of throwing in 2 free breadsticks with every order to commemorate the Twin Towers. Also, let me remind you, after 9/11, compared to Giuliani, not the worst Rudy to exist. Also, you don't want to know what he did for Black History Month. But, come on, it's not the worst business idea coming from a guy who had to blow into a breathalyzer every day just to start his PT Cruiser. And I shit you not, this man genuinely believed that Condoleezza Rice was the name of Uncle Ben's wife. And to answer your question, yeah, we did get a lot of complaints. Like this one lady who called us up, I had to answer the phone, and she was like, hey, I got this pizza with these 2 breadsticks that I didn't order. There's this greasy napkin in the box, and all it says is you're in our thoughts and prayers. The hell is that referred to? Also, it says, P.S. jet fuel doesn't melt fake cheese. There's a moment of awkward silence where I'm panicking. And then just out of nowhere, I'm like, never forget, I just hung up. That's how you maintain a solid 2.5-star Yelp rating. I love America. I love America so much that I married an American woman. All right. You're cheering like as if she found me shivering behind a dumpster, put like a weighted blanket around me, and then like took me into her home. But I taught her how to have rhythm, okay? So who rescued who? We got married around 2020 when COVID hit. And the best part about a COVID wedding is it was small, it was intimate, it was in our kitchen. We did it over DocuSign. Also, the worst part about the COVID wedding in 2020 is that now I can't get hard until I see Anthony Fauci on the news again. But also, I remember like I've had to talk to people after shows when I say I'm married, and it's always like the weirdest guys that come up to me. I had this one guy come up to me and he's like, what kind of diamond did you get her? He's like, I just got a regular diamond. I'm like, oh, was it real or was it lab created? I was like, all right, man. It was lab created. It's ethically sourced, No child warfare was involved at this jewelry store. And he's like, oh, that's not real. Nope, you gotta go to my buddy Steve Quick Jewelers in Lincoln Park. I was like, all right, thanks. I'll take that advice for my next marriage. But also, like, Steve Quick Jewelers, that sounds like the sleaziest name for a jewelry store. Not gonna lie. If they had a slogan, I'm sure it would just be, every kiss begins with K. and every quickie begins with Steve. Sometimes I'll have guys come up to me and ask me for my thoughts on the Middle East. I had this one guy come up to me. Turns out he was a Zionist, and he was like, "Hey, what's your thoughts on what's going on in the Middle East?" And I was like, I don't know. How much time do you have? Let's just stand right here and talk all day. And this guy is like, he's one of those Zionists that have never been outside of the U.S. And he was just telling me, I tried to compromise with him, talked about the two-state solution. He wouldn't even be favored for that. He was like, two-state solution, can't have that. No, that's not American at all. I hope America never supports a two-state solution. And I was like, my brother, lean in, come here. America is literally a 50-state solution. America is like if you walk into a woman's bathroom and you see 50 products for hair, and God forbid we try to put shampoo and conditioner in the same bottle. All right, those of you who are not laughing, you're probably like, I don't have hair right now. I got a flight in the morning, I'm gonna take to Turkey to get some hair plugs. And then I'm gonna come back and laugh at that joke. It's okay, this special is not gonna air in the Middle East. We're also, my wife and I were expecting our first child in November. Thank you, we are keeping it, yes. She's heavily into the third trimester, and I told her as a joke she should just go to Walgreens and buy a pregnancy test. She's like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right. I had a Northside Italian beef sandwich 3 weeks ago. But I'm excited though, I'm gonna have a mixed baby. Yeah, a little rum and coke, Mixed babies are all the rage now, I got a friend who just had his mixed baby, had a half Filipino, half Mexican baby. Yeah, that's 100% nurse right there. I'm also excited though, because it's a great time to be a new parent. Yeah, it really is. Great time to be a new parent. Because with P. Diddy going to jail, there's no longer going to be a shortage of baby oil. Stock up. Here's why I'm excited to be a father. Mainly because we're going to have a baby in Chicago, which has become my new home and honestly the best city in the world. Yeah, we're going to have a pure Chicago baby, and I can't wait to do his first skin-to-skin contact with like a shirtless Ukrainian plumber. And my favorite part is going to be teaching him about the alphabet, but it's going to be the Chicago ABCs, which goes like, A is for alderman, B is for bet you can't chug a bottle of Malort, C is for can't believe you just chugged a bottle of Malort, D is for dude, are you okay? Shit, we gotta take him to the hospital. E is for everyone be cool, we're gonna get this figured out. F is for fuck's sake, I didn't think he was taking me seriously. I was joking. G is for Google what's going to happen if you chug a whole bottle of Malort. H is for how did this even happen? We were just hazing him. I is for it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We're white. It's going to be okay. We just need one thing to get us out of this. J is for Jewish lawyer. K is for Kyle, pull the car around right now. We got to get rid of this body. We gotta get this out of here. L is for listen to me. Listen to me. We gotta get our alibi straight. M is for my dad will know what to do. He's gotten me out of this before. N is for no way am I gonna let this ruin my football scholarship. O is for okay. Okay, officer. That's right. That's exactly how we found him. R is for, really? You're gonna let us go? S is for, so we're cool? No, we're not cool, you're gonna arrest us? T is for, that's bullshit, do you know who I am? U is for USA, USA, USA. V is for, very well then, we're fucked. W is for, we'll see you in court, motherfucker. X is for, X marks the spot where we hid the body. Y is for, Your Honor, we plead not guilty. Z is for, 0 time in jail, baby, we did it. Okay, I am happy to be married, mainly because I still see my single friends that are struggling out here. That reminds me of my single days when I struggled. And those of you that are single, who's married in here? Make some noise, you're married. The sound of monogamy right there. That's nice. But when you're single, you will get desperate before you meet the love of your life, before you meet the right person. You're gonna get desperate. And me personally, I got so desperate once that I almost thought about hooking up with a very elderly woman. Yeah, we were a perfect match. 'Cause I grew up in the 90s. She was in her 90s. I was praying to the good Lord to help me find somebody. She was praying to the good Lord to take her away. But that's, like I said, I did think about it. Because how many times in your life can you say that you hooked up with somebody who is a cougar in the streets, but a life alert in the sheets? How many times can you genuinely say you made sweet, sweet love to somebody who put both the hoe and the spice in hospice? But it's what she said that ruined this bingo night fantasy of mine. I was just walking by and she just yells out, "Ew, ew, ew. You look like a tall glass of brown water." I don't know about you guys, you have brown water in your life, whether internally or externally. Nothing is going according to plan. And that's the last time I tried dating in Flint, Michigan. Thank you so much for coming out. Give it up one more time for Mike Atchison. Aaron McDavis, let's hear it one more time for him. He's weirdly sitting off in the corner. Cecilia Gonzalez. Amazing. So hilarious. And I'm really touched. Like, this was something I've been working on for the past 8-10 years or so. And I'm so grateful that you guys came out here tonight to see this. And the thing about growing up in America, and what I most personally love seeing is that friends of mine that do end up with a partner that I ended up with, and like seeing them be happy and like genuinely in love with somebody. And then I get to go to their wedding and just make a fool of myself. Is anybody here fans of weddings? Okay, we got some sociopaths in the house tonight. But a lot of people love weddings for a lot of different reasons. Some of you love that they have open bars. Some of you love the open buffets. Me, I just love just showing up and just being there in the moment. And the last wedding I ever went to that kind of ruined this for me is a wedding that I went to for a good friend of mine. And he just came up to me and he was like, "Hey, Sharup, I need a quick favor from you." And I was like, "All right, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "The DJ's running late. Can you go up there and sing a Bollywood song for the guests real quick? You're Indian, right? Just go up there, sing a Bollywood song. You know, Ashley's a huge fan of Bollywood. It means so much to her until the DJ shows up." And I was like, "I'm not Indian, but I am shit-faced, so what's the worst that can happen?" So I went up there, started singing the most popular Bollywood song I could think of. You guys know the words. Feel free to sing along. Here we go. Tujhe dekha to ye jana sanam, pyar hota hai deewana sanam. Tujhe dekha to ye jana sanam. I'm gonna stop right there. This is the exact reaction I got. You guys nailed it. Were you there? I had to react quickly, all right? It was very uncomfortable. There's a sea of confused faces. A couple of kids started puking in the corner. The priest was in the back doing this for some reason. The bride stood up and she just yells out, "That's not from Aladdin!" I was like, "Oh, God." I'm gonna translate the words into English. Okay, that way you know what I'm saying. And then we can try this again, all right? We're gonna take all of your jobs. Work out white people will take your jobs. We're gonna take all of your jobs. This part is so unnecessary. And then we'll be replaced by robots. 10 Theater, thank you so much. I've been Sharup Karim. Yalla. Zindabad, Bangladesh. Good night.